family, get your questions together. I go by the name of Torre. Make some noise for me. We're gonna keep that energy going as I start bringing to the stage some of the best in the business. My man from Money Earning Mount Vernon. I'm talking about the Chocolate Boy One. I'm talking about Pete Rock. Make some noise. Yes. Now we're gonna leave Mount Vernon. We're gonna get on the highway. We're gonna take it out to Philly right now. We're gonna get into one of Philly's finest, one of Philadelphia's finest. DJ Jazzy Jeff, y'all make some noise. Yeah. Oh, y'all ready? Y'all lit? Y'all lit? Y'all lit? Y'all ready to bounce a little bit? Y'all ready to have some fun with it? So let's take it down to the NOLA then. Let's make some noise for Manny Fresh.
Go DJ! That's the DJ! Go DJ! That's DJ!
Alright, so we turned up, we lit, we lit, we turned up. What else we got? What else we got? What else?
Yeah!
We got crunk. Can we get crunk real quick? As we take it out to that ATL, make some noise for Lil Jon.
Shit all goddamn night. You know what? Get it out the way now. Give me all right. Let's move it up there.
Let me calm down. Let me 3, 2, 1. Okay. There will be no more back this evening. So yeah, and like I said, man, this producers roundtable, this conversation is with some of the most instrumental, no pun, and influential producers to ever grace the machinery. We're gonna have a great conversation about the craft as we celebrate 50 years of hip hop. How y'all fellas doing? Y'all good?
Yes.
So y'all staying on the whole entire cruise?
Yes.
Lil Jon said I got a helicopter landing about 9 o'clock. So as we jump into this conversation, I just want to ask a general question for everyone. What did you get started on? What was your first piece of machinery? What did you get started on? I'll go far left for Lil Jon.
I started with the MPC 3000,
Okay.
and I think it was the Trinity keyboard and Proteus sound modules, and damn, what was that? It was another Roland where you could put them cards in. What the fuck was that Roland? It was a I forgot the name of the module, but that's basically it.
Word up, word up. Yeah. Fresh, what about you?
Boss DR55, old school drum machine. Like,
Crazy.
You know what I'm saying? And then maybe a 606, a Roland 606. The also with the 606, you had a Bass-O-Matic that was like the 303 that you did the bass lines with. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then from that, the SP1200.
Crazy. Jeff, what about you?
Roland 808, Roland 909.
Okay. Now, Roland, they made a lot of money off us.
Still.
Still. Pete, what about you?
I started with a Dr. Rhythm. You know what I'm saying? It's like the little joint with the 9-volt battery. I was using that. Then went from that to like the DX Oberheim, you know. And then from there, the 909, same as Jeff. Then I ended it with the SP1200.
Yeah.
Ended it with before the SP1200, it was the SP12. I was using that.
Yeah.
You know.
Crazy.
The Dr. Rhythm, that's the drum machine, the DR55, Dr. Rhythm.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
As we look at where we are in technology and things have changed so much, talk to me about the advancements of the craft and how much easier it's become, or how much you've had to adapt to just the newer machinery and software and things of that nature.
Some machines it's like glue, you stick to it, you know what I mean? Like the 12, I thought I wasn't never gonna, you know, work with anything else, you know what I'm saying? Because Eric Sermon still works with the broke piece of equipment.
with the buttons coming off.
When he want to get something out of it, he bangs it, he banging that shit. And, you know, when it goes out, he banging again, and then it start working, you know what I'm saying? So if it ain't broke, don't fix it, you know what I'm saying? So,
And if it's broke, bang it.
that's it.
Because the banging beats come out of it anyway, so it don't make sense.
Right.
What kind of learning curve is it as you adapt into new technology and new machinery?
I think that all depends on who you are as a producer. I think I think for me, I was a slave to the equipment. Like anytime something new came out, like I've always been chasing that, trying to make the perfect beat. So whenever there's something new that came out, I wanted to try it. But sometimes you get lost in trying so much new stuff that you're not making music. You're too busy learning equipment and not making music. I used to be really envious of guys like Pete and Premier because it was almost like they had a machine that they mastered, and the music was the most important thing, not the machine. So I think it depends on what type of producer you are. Are you chasing, technology, or are you just 100% about the music? If you are, whatever you use is what you use.
I think that's an interesting point with technology now. Like the way we all grew up producing, we exhausted every fucking sound in the machine. Every keyboard, every piano, synth, whatever it was, we went through it 10, 20 times and used it. Then for me, like I would go to the music store and buy a new module for the next new album I was working on. And now it's just sound overload. It's way too much. And I'm sure we all probably feel the same way. If we had this much shit when we were making music, we would have, there's no telling what the fuck we would have been able to do. We would have been probably done 100 times more beats.
Oh, forget
But
about
it's just too much shit.
It's a lot of shit.
It's too many keyboards that you can buy. And like, for me, I got like 3 million drum sounds. So it's like, it's great for me in that aspect because I'm a drum guy. So I need percussion, I need different kicks, I need different 808s. But the keyboards is just too much. And I think that's why a lot of like some of the new sound, they just kind of use the same old shit over and over again because there's too much out there to go through.
That's interesting. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah. The concept of the SP1200 or the SP12 was 8 sounds. 8 sounds made you do some incredible shit.
In 10 seconds.
Yeah, in 10 seconds. You had to think of how can I make 8 fucking sounds incredible. And that's all you had to work with. So it forced you to do some incredible shit.
Right.
Now you got an infinity of like, this shit just goes on and on and on. And a lot of times, I remember having a keyboard when I just was like, God damn, I done wrung it out. There ain't nothing else in this one.
It's not another sound.
And pushed it, like John said, and pushed it off the table and got the new one, but I was mad because the new one didn't do what this shit done. It just put too much shit in there that was just like, God damn. I knew how to sequence on this, I knew how to make this shit work, and I wanted the new one, and now I'm mad as shit because this shit got too much shit going on.
This shit too new.
Yeah.
What about inspiration? Obviously, the discography and the catalog that each of you to my left have inspired generations of producers and beat makers and artists and MCs and so many to come after you all. Let's talk about your beginnings and some of the people that you look to for inspiration and why you got into it. I'll start with you, John.
My inspiration was the motherfucking club. I just wanted to make shit that make the club go fucking crazy. That's why all my music got energy. Everything I do, even the slow song I do got a fucking energy to it.
Mission accomplished.
So, I've been knowing you for a long time.
If you ain't hit that show, then get out. If you didn't hit that album, you have to leave.
Nah, but yeah, I think, and being from the South, Manny, all of the No Limit producers, 8 Ball and MJG, because they produced a lot of their earlier shit.
What up, Memphis?
Luke, like what Luke had did as an artist, like Luke was our first in the South superstar because this nigga did it all by himself. We looking at Def Jam and everybody else, and they got a team, but Luke was by himself and running shit and then flipping shit upside down. So Luke and the energy that his music had, I've seen his shit. I ain't gonna tell you, but I seen his music.
You're talking about Luke, right?
Yeah, make people do things. So all of that, fucking and shit, twerking and shit. But all of that was kind of like my early influence.
For sure. What about you, Fresh?
I think he hit it dead on. Like we all produce like kind of like from the South, from the club, from that perspective. I wasn't even trying to be a producer. I was, I started this shit as a DJ,
Right.
and I started remixing songs, and people just start going, dude, you actually producing the song. I never meant to do that shit, but my remixes start catching on, and before you know it was just like, oh shit, this is a sound. Like, you know what I'm saying? And this is some shit that people want. And I think we grew up on the same people, me and John. We watched Luke change the fucking world. The Miami sound, like that shit was the 808 gods. And something about the TR 808 down south, the way that the snare, the kick, the hi-hat, all of that. That shit is biblical in your house. You just like, this is the goddamn machine.
Oh, we gotta add Larry Smith too, because
Yes.
Larry Smith is not talked about enough places.
Larry Smith.
One of the greatest hip hop producers fucking ever.
Ever.
And I'm a nigga from the South saying that, so make this a
Come on, man.
motherfucking soundbite. Because nobody talk about him enough. The way he flipped the fucking 808s.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Listen to Friends.
Oof.
It's like 2 or 3 kick drums, 808, the way the snare is rolling. That was one of my early, like, that beat just used to drive me fucking nuts. So I ain't mean to cut
Nah,
cut
you
in,
good.
but
You good.
Larry Smith needs to be talked about.
Yeah.
If you don't know him, you need to go look up his discography when you leave tonight.
Queens,
And I would tell him one of my heroes
Queens in the house.
who did it way before me, and a lot of my style is his style, Mantronics. Mantronics.
Absolutely. Jeff.
I'm a little bit older, so my inspiration really came from Gamble and Huff. Being from Philly,
Philly.
and it was crazy because like being from Philly, there would be times that Gamble would go on a radio station and DJ. That you would just be like, yo, like this man is playing all of this music he made. And it would just, and I got to a point that, I got really close with Gamble and would ask him questions, and it was just one of those things that whatever I heard, I wanted to make that, I wanted to be a producer. I didn't really necessarily want to be a hip hop producer. I wanted to make music.
Right.
Anything I heard, I wanted to be able to make. So that's what just took me down that path of
Absolutely.
just listening.
And we'll get into the South origins that you guys both touched on, and your Philly roots as well. Pete, I want to ask about your inspirations.
Well, I mean, I post this man a lot on my Instagram, so I'm gonna say James Brown.
Come on, man.
Say James
Come
Brown,
on, man.
who is the actual nucleus to hip hop. And so, I learned a lot from that man, and I look to other producers as well, Marley, Mal, Teddy Riley, Larry Smith.
Legend.
There's so many in New York that got busy. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of producers that people didn't really get to meet or see. Paul C from Queens. You know what I'm saying? Like he was the illest. All the ultramagnetic stuff and Super Lover C and all that other stuff. New York shit. And Jay Dilla. Now I'm gonna say one thing. I'm gonna say when I first met Dilla, his mother said, "You, Pete, are his hero."
Wow.
And that meant a lot to me. And I spent a whole week in his basement, and he was like, "Yo, you could use my records. I just want to see how you do it." And I just started grabbing records and making beats, and dude was like just sitting there like, "Yo." And then we ended up doing joints right there in his basement. You know what I'm saying? When I walked in his house, he had 2 guns on the table. He's like, yo,
It's still Detroit.
he's like, yo, Pete, it's the D, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? And I was like, wow. And I was just making the beats, looking at the guns.
You had to protect them
You know what I'm
records.
saying? That's it. But yeah, like, I look to other producers. I look for real musicians. You know what I'm saying? I get inspiration from all of that. And then old records, listening to shit, digging. I'm a heavy digger, so I find shit,
Wait, before you go there, we should touch on live musicians because
Yeah.
like all of us up here, even though we do different styles of music, we all use live musicians. I was doing crunk music and I'm using live musicians for bass and all kind of other shit. Manny was using live musicians. All of us was using live musicians, and I think that's the problem with music now. It has no soul anymore because there's no more live elements.
Talk about it.
It's no human. It's no human in it. The human is gone.
You said it, bro.
One thing I found interesting is that you all also DJ and come from that space. Talk about that marriage between, you know, that transition of producing and DJing, and normally it goes DJing into producing, but just the importance of those two worlds being together and so intertwined.
I would say something. When you're a DJ, you're automatically a producer, but you don't know it. You know what I'm saying? Until you touch that machine. And that's what happened to me. You know, I was like, you know, I started DJing at 7 years old. My cousin Floyd, who's Heavy D's brother, gave me the name Pete Rock and taught me how to scratch and cut, go back and forth. So yeah, when you're a DJ, you're automatically a producer, but you just don't know it yet until you touch the machine.
And the magic happens.
Yeah.
Records, you know, you dig for records, you produce records, you come with records. Obviously, we all have our favorites from each of you, and we'll get to that later. So start thinking about your favorites from your fellow panelists. But what was the record that you produced that really changed your life? And it doesn't have to be the biggest record you produced. It don't have to be the biggest hit. But what was the record for you that you produced where the shit changed? Jeff.
Who is Jill Scott?
Philly from Philly.
What a lot of people didn't know is I actually started a production company so I can do music outside of hip hop.
Right. Such a jazz.
Because people didn't really accept you for doing something outside what they knew you for.
Don't I know it?
So just just being able to almost hide behind this invisible wall and make whatever you want to make, and people like it. That was the greatest satisfaction.
I mean, love it. People love it.
That's from the heart, though. That's why.
That's incredible. That's incredible. What about you, Fresh?
Wow, that's deep.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I've done it yet.
Come on,
But
Such a humble legend.
real shit. I did this song for Tina Marie. And it was called I'm Still in Love, and it was her only gold song. And I thought Tina, as much as we like Tina Marie, we always thought she was gold and platinum. And she never had, but Tina Marie was always one of the people who I loved to death, like, you know, and when I actually met her, I called my dad. I was like, you ain't gonna fucking believe this, Tina Marie right now. I'm like, it's Tina Marie in here. He was like, shit, you done done it. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I fanboy out. I was just like, I'm like, god damn, like, white lady, we love all your songs.
That's that Blue Eyed Soul.
We love all your songs.
The whole community. She
That Blue Eyed Soul. She was signed to Cash Money for a while.
Yes,
right? I
yes,
remember that. John, what about you? What was that record for you?
When Flex dropped the bomb on Bia Bia in New York City,
God,
I knew I had made it.
the
Cause
city up.
when you know, being from the South and going through the era where niggas was like y'all Bamas and all that shit to go to be in New York, and Funkmaster Flex is running my shit back. That was a pinnacle moment in my career to show me that I've done it, because we always strived in the South to make it in New York.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
But we also didn't give a fuck about New York.
But that's the
You said that in the song.
Because the South, you can just sell hella records in the South.
Yeah.
We don't, but it's the industry respect that you get by making it in New York.
Yeah.
But that's why, because people probably want to know that question, why does Southern rap, why is it so up there? Why has it been at the top so long? Because we just make records for us.
That's right.
We don't make records for nobody else.
Yep.
We just make records for us.
Yep.
There's a lot more people in the South than the North.
Yeah. Basically.
There's so much more space.
Yeah.
I feel like Lil Jon must have saw my notes backstage, because every question I want to ask, he kind of answers before I get to ask
Pete's
it.
answer.
Yeah, can I do it?
No, they pay the moderator with you. They pay the big bucks, not.
Yeah, all the shit that I want to ask, and I was going to say that, I want to get to Pete's answer, but I definitely wanted to talk about just the up north, the mentality of the South, but let's hold on that. Pete, what was that record for you?
Oh man. Let's see. Let me see. No. Let's see. Heavy D. Because I was co-producing on Big Time album. I was doing pause button beats.
Wait, break that down.
I would do the pause button beats, run down the house, and be like, listen. And he'd be like, yo, I want that one. Let's do that one. And then I would take, the elements of the ideas and, bring it to Eddie F. House, then sample it, because I didn't know how to use the shit yet. But I said, yo, put this in there. I use these drums. I want this in there. And I'm producing it, but he's, doing the machinery. So it was Heavy D for me. And I'll say, the world is yours.
Oh my God. Yeah. It's a perfect song. It's literally.
And I'll say Troy Reminisce. So.
Yeah. All them writing people on the side was mad.
Nah, but Troy was like, of course, Troy's the biggest record I've made. It's my biggest hit. But I've got, some things, some joints that I was like, you know what, this one here, I sleep on my own stuff sometimes, but other people say, oh, that shit is crazy.
We gotta remind y'all, all of y'all greats just how magnificent that you all are. And when we have opportunities like this to salute you, or some people say give you your flowers, or just be able to have a conversation to get a smidgen into the mind of the genius of you all. So Lil Jon, you did touch on this earlier, but I always wanted to ask about the importance of a New York respect and or acceptance for artists in the South. And Manny, that goes for you too, because Manny, when Hot hit, that's what really broke Cash Money in New York. When we heard Hot, we didn't give a fuck. That was the craziest shit we had heard, right? That's what broke Cash Money, and obviously y'all had been making so many records prior to that. Chopper City in the Ghetto and all of the other shit that y'all did. But it took Juvenile's record to kick the door in, and Jay-Z got on it, right? So you get that New York respect, and then that kind of opens the floodgates. So just tell me about being able to produce in the South, but the acceptance of New York.
My story kind of like John in a sense, because even though Han kind of took off and Jay jumped on it, we still was just like, we don't really think they fuck with us. So we had a gig where we had to do the tunnel. Like Flex had brought it right? So it was motherfuckers just going like, y'all not gonna make it in the tunnel.
Somebody bring me a razor.
They were like, this the fucking tunnel. I don't know what the fuck y'all doing here. Blah blah blah. And and it was like that second of doubt. Like like Julian was like, bro, I don't know. We need to not fuck with this. And I'm like, nah, man, we doing this shit. We here. And Han dropped and the fucking tunnel went crazy. And we was just like, this is it. This is fucking it. Like, you know what I'm saying? And there's interviews like online where, like these dudes feel like that was the greatest moment in their life. They just talking mad shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because it finally felt like y'all accepted this. And like he said, our thing was, we already knew like the Mecca of hip hop was New York. That's what it, so we was just like, we just want y'all to hear us. And whenever we done some shit and they heard it, we was just like, shit, now everything else is possible.
For sure. Now y'all really like kicked that door in crazy. And it's
but I can tell y'all this.
Never been close since.
Now this is funny as fuck, and he go get it, y'all go get it. We was like, why the fuck do y'all keep saying Little John and Little Wayne? It's like Lil John and Lil Wayne.
Little.
But we was just like, okay, that's just the vibe.
Lil Jon.
Little John. We're like, nah, Lil John. Little
Just abbreviated.
That's all right, Lil Jon.
When we talk about the creation of music and composition, and we touched on live musicianship, but we also will be remiss to not talk about the importance of sampling and hip hop and how we've been able to not only revive certain records and put a generation of people on to artists that came before that, but it's taking the culture into a whole other stratosphere, because the sample, whether it's a loop or a chop, you are recomposing something, you add your elements onto it. Let's just get into the importance of the sample. I'll start with you, Pete, right here.
Oh man, the sample stuff, man. Listen, man. I've been told by Herbie Hancock
He's stunting on us tonight.
No, I'm just saying, he heard something I did of his music and he said I did a great job. Also, Luther Vandross thanked me for sampling Don't You Know That for Heavy D. He said I did a wonderful job. I was like, wow.
Big Luther or Little Luther?
but sampling it was definitely a part of hip hop, and this is why I love Marley so much, because to me he was like the first James Brown of hip hop, right? And he told me that a lot of things that in the beats that he made were mistakes. Like what? I can't even explain Marley's craziness, but he told me that, and it was just like mistakes that turn into, that like it belongs in the record. So, and he's one of the guys that I looked up to when it came to sampling, and I just kind of, went in line with that, but just went Pete Brown.
For sure. Jeff, I mean, the Philly sound in itself, the catalog, the discography, Stax and Gamble and Hunt, and just all of these. Talk to me about when you decide to work on one of these classic records and you make it your own, the importance of the sample.
You just, having older brothers or older, or parents that had record collections,
Right.
It always started from there. And my older brother played the bass for the Intruders.
Wow.
So he played on Cowboys to Girls.
Wow.
And it was just, they would rehearse in my basement, and I would kind of sneak and sit on the top step, and when nobody's looking, I'd go to the next step, and go to the next step, and then they would see me and say, get the fuck out the basement, and I would have to repeat it. But it's like, I started
Kicking Jazz Out. These are the origins of Kicking Jazz Out. Where it started.
That's crazy. Just,
That was clever. That was fucking clever.
That's crazy.
But it started with, them rehearsing in the basement and the record collection. And the one thing that I will always give my older brothers the credit for is he taught me how to take a record out of a jacket. He taught me to put, my middle finger in the hole, no pun intended, the thumb on the edge. He taught me how to put it on the turntable. He taught me to take care of records. And at about 8 years old, when he would go to work, he would say, you can play with the record. So I'm 8, 9, 10 years old, and I'm making Chick Corea and Herbie Hancock, Mahavishnu Orchestra, because I don't have record music of my own. This is pre-hip hop. So all of their music was mine. So you just start digging through all of these records. So when hip hop kind of came along and you got a drum machine, it was like, oh shit, I'm just gonna go and grab my brother's records, and you got all of these records, and that's you don't understand, like anybody who ever dug for records or sample, you're digging for gold. And sometimes you go in these stores and I listen, I don't know anybody that's as bad as Pete, because Pete digs all over the world. But you don't understand that I'm scared of heights. And I've been in record stores that I was easily 20 feet in the air on a pile of records reaching for this album cover.
Right.
Like, no fear, because that was gold over there.
Yeah.
Crazy. Manny Fresh.
First off, straighten it out.
Really?
No way. That's like one of the most incredible things in the world.
Oh, thank you, bro. That's crazy.
And for us down south, like hip hop was always apparent. So when They Reminisced Over You came out, we knew what it meant to you. Like, we knew the story, the back, and there's so many songs that's not like that. Like, there's no backstory to it.
Can I just say something real quick? When I mixed that song, and I had Charlie Brown in the studio, a couple of people in the studio, everyone started crying.
Everybody cried.
I was flushed with emotion. I had to leave the room. It was crazy because my man just passed away, and this song was torturing my soul. You know what I mean? So sorry to interrupt you, bro.
The thing is,
it resonated. It came through in the song. Like, you know what I'm saying? When that song hit, if you really love the music and hip hop, you understood. It was a feeling behind that song. It was, you know, it was the right sample, everything. I know it took some time to say, I'm gonna put this together perfect for my brother. You know what I'm saying? And we felt that. We was just like, dude, this song resonates.
Well, when I listened to the sample, I started crying, bro.
Yeah.
So when that happened, I was like, you know what? I gotta do something with this.
So,
Shit timeless.
I Dream of Jeannie. I know a lot of y'all might, but the first, it was like, how the fuck did he think of that?
Girls in the world ain't nothing but
like, wait, what the fuck? Like, how did he think of this shit? Like, what? You know what I'm saying?
That's the 909 too.
I mean, like, it's just like, what the hell? Like, I'm like, nobody would have ever thought of that. And Brand New Funk, like, come on. Like, that shit is, that started, in our era, that started the party off down.
I tell you, first two
That shit
albums.
used to go hard.
Real
You know
hard,
what I'm
real
saying?
hard, man.
So, and even the way they sampled and the way we sampled was kind of different because I think me and John was like bits and pieces. We made our drum kits off of samples. We sampled snares and kicks from different records all over the place. And we just was scared as shit to take some shit because it was new to us. So we had to create something from nothing, but the drums came from so many of y'all shit. But we was just like, I'm gonna take the Brand New Funk snare. I'm gonna take the kick from that and I'm gonna create my own thing and then I'm gonna go around it.
But you know what? I'm a sharp producer. I be hearing my shit.
Yeah,
this nigga sampled my shit.
You know that snare anywhere.
I don't be tripping. I don't trip at all. You know what I'm saying?
I learned how to delay the sound off the SB1200 from you.
I know my sounds.
You know, and we're gonna get to Lil Jon's sample talk. Lil Jon, when Saweetie did she flipped Freak a Leak, right?
I love that money that came in.
Please talk about the new money, Lil Jon.
What is also the next? So we were talking about how we know we made it, you know, and when you know you really made it is when now they're sampling you. You know, it's like some shit we never fucking dreamed of. I never dreamed somebody was gonna sample my shit.
Yes, sir.
And now it's so many syncs I'm getting samples, and like it just blows my mind because like we all just want to have fun. We do this because it's fun. We do this to support our families, but we started doing this to have fucking fun.
Fun.
So something that I was just having fun doing and just working hard at turns into now revenue that my son and his kids can see. You know what I mean? Like it's just crazy that we lived that long to now be sampled.
And still active and still making incredible music and still getting them syncs. We love that. So we are gonna have to we're gonna close out. We're gonna ask some questions from the audience. We can give you about 10-15 minutes to do that. So I told you at the top of the conversation, I got so many more things I want to ask, but some of you touched on it. What are some of your favorite productions from your fellow panelists?
I think I gave y'all my shit.
Yeah, you gave it up early.
UNLV.
Yeah, that's some old man fresh shit, UNLV.
Crazy.
But
Dragon by the River, nigga, that shit right there. That shit make you want to punch a nigga in the face.
Word.
And that was like early 90s, right?
yeah,
Man, that beat, come on. That beat was so fire, he did it over.
Crazy. That shit's crazy. That shit's crazy.
I'm saying he did it for Juvenile. That's how you know a beat is fire when you do it twice in your life.
It works both times.
I mean, but if you don't give a damn, we don't give a fuck. When everybody was ATL stolen, come on, like that shit changed hip hop for a while.
Yes.
That shit made you go like, fuck John, man. Goddamn, fuck.
Oh man. I have to say VFDI for Lil Jon.
Oh man,
Yeah.
crazy joint.
And that's my DJ.
Go DJ.
Brand New Funk and the Transformer song.
Yeah, that one's mine too. We're the Trans House Party style, right?
Man.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
See, I know the name of the motherfucker. That's how much we used to play it in the last one.
Yeah,
Come on, man. That was on the Pete Rock menu all the time, every day.
definitely summertime.
Summertime.
Come on.
Summertime is like the ultimate hit. The ultimate. That's the ultimate joint. But I like to talk about album cuts and all that kind of shit.
Right.
Don't talk about the shit that really moved me. You know what I mean?
We do a quick little lightning round. Serato or vinyl?
I'm gonna say vinyl.
Vinyl. Vinyl. Fruity Loops or Logic?
Logic.
Logic.
Logic. Okay.
Neither one of
The
them.
Ninth Wonder. Ninth Wonder kills that Fruity Loop shit though.
MPC or SP12?
SP.
SP.
Well, I took my drums, I sampled all my drum sounds into the SB12 and then put them back into the MPC. So I'm on both.
You should have left them in the SP because it gives a bigger
Gritty
sound.
I can't use that
Fatter sound. I noticed that
Figure that shit
though.
out.
I noticed the difference between the MP and the SP. It's a little thinner when you put it back in the MP. So.
Lil Jon, I'm introduced you to my man Pete Rock later. He gonna show you. Pro Tools or 2-inch tape?
2-inch.
Yeah.
I actually just mixed some shit down to half-inch recently.
Wow.
Because I'm going, we don't, this music, you can put all this digital shit on it you want, it's never gonna sound like tape, ever.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to go back.
You remember splicing? You had that.
Hell
yes.
When I used to watch the engineers do that, I'd be
Those
like,
poor engineers.
how do you know? And he's marking it, and he's putting, then he's using the razor, and then he's like, yo, what the fuck?
Yo, you
And it's a
remember
perfect edit.
before automation when it was 19 people on the board? Having to cut everything off and somebody fuck up, you gotta do it all over again?
So
That
Pro
was
Tools.
crazy.
So Pro Tools. We want Pro Tools.
Yeah. Pro Tools.
Anybody got questions out there in the audience? We'll start to get you guys. Are we gonna have them come up? They got a mic over there. We got a mic right there. Okay, cool. So if you have any questions, you guys can start lining up.
Yeah.
We can do that like that. Yeah, if you got any questions, you can line up for our panelists. Pete Rock, talk to me about the Pete Rock, the infamous Pete Rock remix, the illustrious Pete Rock, the sought after. How did that come to be a thing?
You know, once I got the hang of this beat making thing, I worked with Groovy Chill for my very first shit by myself with no help, and I struggled, but then I got through it. So that, and then once I started, I think it was something I did. Oh, the R&B remixes. Once I was doing that, the Johnny Gill stuff, then I was starting to get phone calls. You know what I'm saying? And Def Jam called me and asked me to remix a song called Night Train by Public Enemy, and then shut them down. And I said, I told him I'll do both, and I'll rap on both. And I'll have CL rap on Night Train, and I'll rap on Shut 'Em Down, and you have your choice to take me off or leave me on. And they left me on, and then the remix thing took off.
Crazy. So many amazing Pete Rock
Down
remixes.
with the
Okay.
king.
Yes,
That's one of mine from you.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah, when he took it. Two of my favorite Pete Rock remixes. So many. Jump Around, House of Pain. Madness. That's a crazy remix.
Thank you, brother.
And what was the other Pete Rock remix? Shut 'Em Down.
Yeah, Shut 'Em Down.
Shut 'Em Down.
Everyone was like,
Shut 'Em down. Crazy.
Shut 'Em down. Shut 'Em down.
We good to go over there? We got the mic?
We got it. We're gonna have you guys step right here so there's no reverb. So when you come up, just make sure you step right here. I'm gonna hold on.
Yeah.
Peace.
Peace.
Question. So it's known in hip hop that producers bring out the most in artists, right? So part of being a producer is to be able to pull out magic from artists. But the question I want to ask you is, what artist has been able to pull more out of you, and why?
That's a good one.
I didn't even want to make you say pause after that.
I can start off by saying this. I'm competitive. So if I feel like your rap is better than my beat, I'm gonna stay in there all night till I beat your ass up. Yeah, so every artist has done that. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
All right, great question. Who we got next?
Hey y'all.
Hello, Kimmy.
Hey V. What artist has sampled your music that is your favorite? So someone that sampled your song, which one is your favorite? And also I wanted to ask Manny Fresh, about the influence Trigger Man had on the culture of New Orleans hip hop. Can you just speak on that for a minute?
Somebody else answer that first one. Then I'll tell you about the Trigger
Right
Man.
I don't got nothing to say to that.
All right, well, answer the Trigger Man. Answer the Trigger Man, Manny.
So Trigger Man, that's not actually the name of the song. It's the Showboys, and it's a group from Queens. But it's something that I started backspinning in New Orleans, just the instrumental of it, and it turned into bounce music. Like it turned into just me at block parties, like letting MCs rap off of this bounce. And then it's a part of the song that's got an 808 break. And it's called drag rap, but it's got an 808 break, and it just kind of just took on a whole nother genre that created bounce music, like, you know what I'm saying? So that's kind of like but it started out like the essence of hip hop. It was a rapper and you know, and a DJ backspinning this song, doing something incredible, and it was call and response. Who could do it the best? Who could rock the block party the best? And then people start going like, we actually like these songs. We like what y'all doing. And somebody recorded it, and from there it's still going on and on.
Crazy. Homegrown legendary shit. Love that.
Oh, you gonna hold for me? Okay. Good afternoon, gentlemen. Listen, I actually was gonna ask the same question the other young lady asked, but since I was up here, I just said, I'm gonna come through. I'm Akima, formerly known as Akima, the recording artist from New York. I was on Peaceful Journey album. I want to know, did you do any of those songs on that album? I should know that. Okay. I did Sweet Love on that, and actually I indirectly worked with you, Lil Jon, as well. I was supposed to be on My Boo, the song My Boo. But anyway, I was doing house music. I'm from New York, house music, and I wanted to do hip hop R&B so bad. I'm in the studio, and I'm in one studio, and I'm hearing Guru Gangstar on Studio B, and I'm like, oh, yo. So anyway, I rolled over there, and he was like, come on. He took me on tour with him. But I love you guys. I love hip hop. Queens in the building. Thank you.
What they do?
It wouldn't be hip hop if it was no shameless promotion. It wouldn't. It just wouldn't be
Let's go.
I had a question, but remember that one time we was in the store? What's up, homie?
I just wanted to ask, in your youth, did you guys play any instruments? And if not, have you guys mastered any instruments now?
Well, I'm still young as fuck. What you talking about?
I mean, like, kids, like, you know.
I'm playing, dog. I'm playing. I kind of dabble with a little bit of everything, you know, and I play it at my own rate. You know, I can play a bass one string. You know what I'm saying?
That's it.
But it works for me. It works for me.
So, let's get it. Let's keep it rolling.
True.
What's up, everybody? My name's Jeeves B. I'm an MC straight out the DMV. And I look up to you, P-Rock, as an influence on my style. That's a boom bap.
Oh, my style, huh?
Yeah.
Alright.
And my question is, like, seeing like New York boom bap, like Golden Age hip hop, New Orleans bounce, and ATL crunk. It's like producers of like totally different styles. So like, I'm curious as like fans, how much you appreciate the other subgenres, I should say. Like, do y'all listen to it in your spare time?
Yes.
Absolutely.
I actually, on my spare time, I don't even listen to hip hop. I listen to jazz.
That's right.
I listen to soul. I listen to, you know, soft rock. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything.
I actually wake up to jazz music every fucking day. It comes on at 10 a.m. in my house, and jazz is playing all day. You would never think that about a nigga like me.
What we got? Let's get to the next one.
So first of all, I want to appreciate y'all for providing the soundtrack for our lives, right? The soundtrack for our lives. My question is that without, like when Usher said, without R&B, there's no hip hop. So what R&B influences do y'all dig through?
Oh man, Michael Jackson, Shaka Khan, Isaac Hayes, Stevie Wonder, Stevie Wonder, James Brown, Aretha Franklin.
Rap Stevie!
You know what I'm saying? You know,
Rap Stevie!
yeah, the OJs.
That's what I said. That question.
Oh man.
What's up, homie?
When y'all got that call to come up and do this concert, this tour, what was y'all first response when 50th anniversary hip hop?
As far as this,
I
can say this. What's great about this generation right here, we cool. We gonna always embrace each other. Every time we see each other, we gonna keep spreading love.
Yes, sir.
You know? And so that's a no-brainer. These are my brothers.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
What up, though, y'all? I'm from Detroit, man. I want to know, what would it take for,
I know you.
what would it take for hip hop to go another 50 years? When Dylan Proof died in Detroit, it seemed like a lot of the spirit died, you know, and there's a lot of key
Well,
players.
I'm gonna say first things first is our health. We gotta pay more attention to our health.
Make some noise for that. Everybody, make some noise for that.
So we gonna be around for at least 10, 15, 20 more years. You know what I'm saying? Yes. And so, yeah, he's official. He's official. And so, you know.
I would say the other thing would be this. This generation gotta push back. If they want something better, they gotta push for something better.
Make some noise for that as well.
Word up.
And I'm gonna add, we have to understand whatever we put in the universe comes back. So we preaching death is gonna come to us. That's why so many rappers are dying, manifesting death to themselves and their community. So we have to, like, I think earlier hip hop would talk about what's going on. Now it's more like, I'm gonna go kill this nigga. Like, I saw a nigga die early on, but now like, I'm gonna be the reason this nigga Words are powerful. In my older age, I'm way more connected to the universe and everything on this planet, and I understand whatever I say is I'm manifesting that. So if you leave with one thing tonight, remember whatever you speak, always try to speak the good. Positivity. Speak what you want. Don't speak about what you don't like. Speak what you want, and that's what we have to wake up as black folks and hip hop artists. We gotta understand we're bringing this on ourselves.
Yes, sir. You're right. Absolutely.
What's going on?
Hey guys, how y'all doing, man? I'm just in awe with everything that you guys do. I'm a big fan of every single one of you guys. I want to know, what's an artist that you didn't work with that you really wanted to work with? Okay.
Marvin Gaye.
Stevie Wonder.
James Brown.
Lil Wayne.
Little Wayne.
Lil Wayne, and I think Future for me. If I did a song with Wayne or Future, the energy would be just stupid.
Crazy. To add on to that, just because.
Yeah, I'm calling Wayne tomorrow. Be like, hey, bro,
There's some artists, you guys mentioned artists that passed away, but are there any current artists that you would want to work with or anybody? Pete, I know you just said we on the Rock the Bells cruise. The LL Cool J.
You know, we're talking about it. So,
that'd be crazy.
Would y'all want to hear Pete Rock again?
Oh yeah.
That's nuts. You know what I'm saying?
What's going on, Queen? What you got for us?
Hey, Abiodun Henson, representing Gangsters to Growers and ATL, young people, teaching them how to manifest and all that. I just had to say that because what you were saying. But I really want to know, like, what was the most expensive sample that you had to and who was it? Who done it?
You want to fuck up the whole movie.
I mean, I can name some groups that's just not having it. You know what I'm saying? I can name some groups that's not having it. I don't touch they shit. You know? Steely Dan. I don't fuck with them.
Remember back in the G, Tears for Fears, and you did the hook, it was Shout.
Yes.
And John did the hook, we turned it to Drought. It was like, Drought, Drought. The drugs are all out. They was like, fuck no. They was like, we had to shut that shit down.
For me, it was Michael Sterling when I did Lovers and Friends. It wasn't a sample, but the motherfucker didn't want to give us none of the publishing, so we got 0 publishing on it. As big a song as that was.
Oof. Gilbert O'Sullivan. Ooh. Gilbert O'Sullivan. Y'all
touching on his
y'all wouldn't know, but just don't even listen to this.
Not those samples. But don't even listen to
Don't
that.
even listen to it. You know what I'm saying?
All right, let's get to the next question.
Yeah.
I read the room. That man didn't want to answer that question.
That cut me deep,
Jeff, like, I'm leaving that shit alone. I don't want to bring it back up again.
Jeff, like, they didn't find the shit yet. I didn't clear it. They didn't find it. I'm not saying nothing.
Yeah, I just want to pay homage. John, your R&B discography is crazy. Manny Fresh, man.
Thank you, sir.
Back that ass up.
Right.
Yo, Jeff.
You just tell this grown man to back his ass up. There's nothing wrong with that. I just wanted to win the camera. It's okay if that's what you want to do. It's all right.
Jeff, the first album I bought on my own was Rock the House. All sold out. Mecca and the Soul Brother.
Thank you, brother.
Incredible.
Yes.
Is there, speaking of samples, have y'all ever denied people sampling your stuff?
I have. It's been some shit that was just horrible. I was
Me too. The real dance, the real dance sound. Nah, it's real. You know.
You tore this shit up.
Yeah.
It's also been some records that I was like, I don't
You
know,
dumbed
but
it
then
down.
it passed, and then it's a fucking hit. Like the
Yeah.
Dolce record, when they sent it to me, it didn't sound like what it sounded like when it came out. It was cool, but then it's like, oh shit, that's the #1 record this year.
Yeah.
We don't know. We as producers can all say it's been records we thought was fucking amazing that did shit, and it's been records we thought was shit and that was amazing.
I can tell you mine by far. Like it was the Who Let the Dogs Out. I said the shit just jokingly. I was just like, nah, just fucking say Who Let the Dogs Out. I was like, all right, cool. You know, and I was like, what the fuck, It was like, you want to work on this? You want to program it? I was like, I don't feel like fucking with it. It was like, what do you think you want to? I was like, man, just do this. Just go, Who Let the Dogs Out?
Yeah. We're gonna close out with the queen with the LL hoodie on. New York in the house. Big New York.
So I wanted to ask all of you, has there been anyone that you wanted to work with that you didn't get a chance to?
Tupac.
Yeah.
already have that one.
You know what? That question was asked, but I didn't get to say my person, Biggie.
Yeah.
I wish I would have really got in the thick of it with Biggie. You know what I'm saying?
that too.
That one.
So, thank you all so much for being here. Make some noise for yourself. Make some noise for Lil Jon. Make some noise for Manny Fresh. Make some noise for DJ Jazzy Jeff. Make some noise for my brother Pete Rock. And make some noise for the Rock the Bells team, the whole entire crew. We're gonna have us a good motherfucking time these next few days. I see y'all got your jerseys on. We're gonna get to that jersey party. We're gonna have us a great time. Thank you all for being here. What? Oh yes, we're gonna make sure we have a great time. I go by the name of Torre. I'm your host. That makes noise for me. That's me up. And of course, we got Pete Rock on the set right now, so we about to get into some of these vibes from my guy, Mount Vernon's finest. Y'all give it up, make some noise, y'all.